Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Right, I'm already thinking, oh, I went the wrong way. I'm thinking, why do I have Mission and Karth with me? And then it's because they can level up so many times. They can just keep on using their levels for heals, and they're basically just both like Wolverine right now. But that doesn't really make sense. Wow, and this used to look good, sorta. I mean, no, it looked like they were playing with action figures and stuff. Yeah, but at the time, they were cutting-edge graphics. Uh-oh, walked into a trap. It's a trap! Name that movie. Enemy sighted. Mandalorian Warrior. Mandalorians look a little bit different in this game. Hey, they're supposed to look like Boba Fett. But Mandalorians were sort of reimagined after Disney took over. Because Disney wanted Mandalorians just to be kind of cool, as opposed to this villainous warrior. It's just completely enraged and control. It's a vagabond of lost wars. They wanted to make it a little bit more child-friendly. That's only after people were digging the way Mandalorians were going a second ago. There were these crazy, monstrous soldiers and space pirates. So, ooh, Mandalorians. Tell me more about those. I mean, the Mandalorians lost their war right before this game. As far as I know, the Battle of Mandalore 5. And, I don't know what the technical canon is for Star Wars, but KOTOR 2, that's where they were setting up the new Sith base, and in these games, Korriban is Sith homeworld, and you can't use force powers with armor on, so I figured I'd try taking the armor off and seeing if it was worthwhile to use these force powers, because I've just been sort of playing as lazy as I can. So let's take those goggles off too. Yeah, that wasn't really doing anything. All these are just sort of pointless when you actually read what they do. But if there's an item slot and you think you have to have something on, you can almost take all this stuff off. So yeah, it's not doing anything. So yeah, I shouldn't use those actually. But if you didn't use any of those because they bother you in some way, that's also just like how I've been playing, just this don't care attitude, leaving battle armor on and just doing normal attacks. What was the last thing I was talking about? I don't know. Oh yeah, and then you also have to think about it like this was the moment that you put on Jedi robes and decided to become a Jedi. Yeah, but he's got all these force powers saved up. And, you know, casting all these buffs right before going into battle, just like a cleric or wizard would. Well, that doesn't really work too well, you know, because you'd have to spend a couple of rounds applying buffs. And that uses up all my force mana. So I basically go into Serenity and then just open up a can of awesomeness for a second. I was like, oh wow, that did sort of seem worthwhile. But then I have to wait for my mana to come back, so then every time I go into a battle, I'm going to be starting and stopping the recording device. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. Sort of weird. Yeah, the gameplay is kind of a joke, but then for some reason it still kind of works. And then people also complained about the burst of speed. They didn't like the blurring effect because in Fable that meant that your character was drunk. So it's almost like they're intoxicated or something when they use burst of speed. Right, and you don't even notice that much of a difference. But you notice a little bit of a difference. Yeah, you move slightly faster with burst of speed. It's the point of moving faster, though, in real life if you have to wait for your slowest person. Yeah, you know, maybe, maybe not. Sort of changes depending on who are the people that are with you. Like, oh yeah, now's a good time to go jogging, dummy. Hey, you're not actually supposed to just go on runs. Like, if you're going to the store, you don't jog there. Because if you jog to the store and then come back, like a child might, they don't realize that's going to generate BO. And that's also sort of the problem with riding a bike. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll just sort of have to see. And, yeah, it seems like using those force powers my lightsaber is doing way more damage now. And then after only a few minutes of gameplay, having to wait for the mana to keep coming back, then it's just going to be 10 minutes of dialogue. And then since it's taking so long to move through the game, you have to keep on saving every time you do something, which is encouraging you to think that you like the game and stuff. Saving has some kind of psychological effect. You are not Rakata. What is your business here, off-worlder? Oh, good, an alien's talking. That gives me a reason to read all his dialogue. I seek the Star Forge. You are Revan. The council wishes to speak with you. You may enter. Yeah, back when I started this, it hadn't been too long ago that I read all those audiobooks. But now it seems completely pointless as you get a little bit older. We are the Elder Council, did not expect to see you again, Revan. We thought you had betrayed us. Why have you returned to our village after all this time? I'm not Revan anymore. That part of me is gone. I'm a Max now. Your words are confusing. We recognize you. You are the one called Revan. You are the one who came here before. You promised to help us in exchange for your aid. You swore to destroy the ancient evils of our Rakata ancestors, and you are saying this means nothing to you now? My mind was destroyed, my memories were lost. So do sense nothing different about you, something that has changed. You are not the same as you were before. Perhaps your memory has been lost. I don't know if I should be reading these really fast or not, because I can't tell what his pacing is. Yet the power you wield, what you call the force, is within you still. You can still help us, Revan, if we dare to trust you again. This is a little overwhelming. I still don't remember anything. Persuade. You can trust me, but I have some questions for you. Success. If you want to say is true, that you cannot remember when you were last here, then you must have many questions. Ask what you will, Revan, and we will try to help you understand. You could tell me who you are, for starters. We are the elders, the descendants of the Rakata, priests who were served during the days of the Infinite Empire over 20,000 of your galactic standard years ago. You met us the last time. You arrived with Malik, your servant, 3 of your galactic standard years ago. We saw your ship plummet to the Earth, a victim of the disruptor field that guards this planet. You and Malik both survived the crash, though you were stranded here on our world, and in your search for a way off this planet, you discovered our enclave, just as you did this time. You used the Force to draw the Rakata language from our minds, even as you planted Basic into our skulls, so we could help you in your quest to escape this world. We helped you enter the temple of the ancients, you and Malik both, and now, after all this time, you have returned with your mind wiped clean. Is there anything else you wish to know? Do a lot of ships crash here because of the disruptor field? Throughout the history of our world, many ships have fallen victim to the disruptor field. Most within the ships perish in the crash, though some creatures do survive. That is how the great war beast you call Rancors came to this world. A few of the beasts survived the crash, and they were captured and trained by some of the more primitive Rakata tribes. More primitive tribes? You mean there are other Rakata? I need parts to repair my ship. Even if you repair your ship, you will not be able to leave this world until you enter the temple and disable the disruptor field that caused you to crash in the first place. As for the parts you seek, that we cannot help you with, you might be able to salvage what you need if you explore some of the crash sites. Most of the wrecks are quickly raided and stripped by the more primitive and warlike Rakata tribes. Though they do not understand the technology, they hoard whatever they can carry. More primitive tribes? You mean there are other Rakata? Tell me about the Temple of the Ancients. Want to know more about you? Tell me about the Rakata. There is little I can tell you about the temple. I know the secrets of our ancestors are contained within, but the temple itself is barred to us. Only those who can command the Force can enter. Long ago, we Rakata had this power, but it has since been lost to us. That was why we helped you the last time you were here, Revan. You could enter the temple, but we could enter it not. I want to know more about you. Tell me about the Rakata. There are many Rakata on this world, though most are primitive and warlike tribes descended from the lower caste of the Infinite Empire. The most powerful of all of these is the tribe of the One, Neo. Many times the warriors of the One's tribe have attacked our compound, hoping to gain the knowledge we guard. But our technology is far superior to theirs, and their attacks have failed. And what about your tribe? We are the elders, descended from the priest caste of the Infinite Empire. During the collapse of the Rakata Empire, the warlords unleashed weapons of terrible destruction that threatened to drive our species to extinction. In the devastation's aftermath, our ancestors locked the knowledge of such technology away in the temple so it could never have been used again. Ever since then, we elders have kept our vigil. Devastators were in the comic books. I remember a friend being really into Star Wars and talking about them. So I promise, we trusted you once before, Revan, and you betrayed us. It is true, you can enter the temple and we cannot. But how can we trust you after last time when you were 14? It's like, yeah, talking about Star Wars can be fun. It's almost like eating cotton candy or something. They're just like eating candy and talking about Star Wars. But now, you know, everything's not exactly hitting right. And why are they so into Star Wars? Because of the video games, which are maintaining a state of Star Wars. And we're talking about like N64 and original Xbox Star Wars video games, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and stuff, and like KOTOR. Right. Persuade, I cannot prove what is in my heart. I only ask you judge me by my actions. We sense you mean the words you speak. The words are easy to say. It is actions that prove the true nature of your character. You must prove to us that you are not the same as you once were, Revan. You must prove that you have changed. How can I prove that? Recently, several of our scouts were captured by the One. Most of them were brutally slaughtered, but we have information that they will use unimaginable tortures to force the scout to reveal everything he knows about our tribe, and once one is done with him, the scout will be executed like the others. You must prove you have truly changed by risking your own life to save another. Rescue our scout from the clutches of the One, and we will consider helping you. You must prove you have truly changed by risking your own life. Maybe I can negotiate with the One to release your hostage. So you want me to go there and kill the One? We would prefer if you could find some way to save the prisoner without bloodshed, but we don't believe that will be possible. The One does not like to negotiate. So if I save the prisoner, you'll help me. Risking your life to save the prisoner would show us that you are sincere about making amends for the past. I'll be back after I rescue that prisoner. Okay, I'll help you. The prisoner is being held in the chamber of the One himself. Okay. And we got cut off there, and that's the end of the episode. Just a little panorama around the character, and save and quit.